You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And today on our Weight Loss Wednesday show, we're going to go through how constipation can actually cause weight gain, or at least limit your ability to lose weight. So let's go into all the different reasons how that can actually occur and then what you can do about it. All right. So let's get right into it. So one thing that happens is, so essentially you have 20 plus feet of intestine. Now, that intestine is attached to the stomach, and what's supposed to happen is when you put food in your stomach, you're supposed to have good hydrochloric acid. Enzymes start the digestion, but then after that, hydrochloric acid is going to help finish it up with pepsin, and then that creates a lot of acidity, a very low pH. And then that moves through the stomach, right in the first part of the intestines, which is called the duodenum. Now, that first part of the small intestine, in that part, you're getting enzymes and you're also getting bile being dropped in. Now, bile is a very high pH, so it's about 8.8 or so. When that meets the acidity of the stomach content coming in, it creates this kind of eruption or emulsification of fats and other food particles that then really tear up the food. And that's a good thing. So that less digestion, less stress has to be done by the rest of the digestive system, meaning the intestines. So that's a really important thing to get right. Now, a lot of people, they have weakened digestion because there's lower stomach acid. They're doing improper food combining. There's fermentation going on in the stomach. So what happens is, by the time all that food substance starts coming into the intestines, you are then creating an environment for yeast and bacteria and other things like that to ferment that food. And it stays in there for far too long. When it stays in there for too long, yes, this can cause constipation, but it can also cause inflammation. And that inflammation can then lead to water weight and bloating and a lot of the symptoms that you may be having right now. But what's really important is that hormones can also get caught up, especially estrogen. If you're not having 1 to 2 bowel movements per day, you are most likely allowing estrogen metabolites and other food toxins to be reabsorbed back in the bloodstream. And when this happens, you can actually get, yes, increased water weight gain, of course, from the extra estrogen, but you can also get a lot of the PMS-based symptoms that would happen typically, let's say 3 to 5 days before a female cycle, but men can have the same type of premenstrual syndrome symptoms that anyone does. And so what I would say is this: you have to make sure that you're at least having 1 to 2 bowel movements per day. And we're going to get into how to do that in just a moment. But also, when you look at stress and how stress can affect the body, and again, a lot of us are stressed from, maybe it's our work, our life, our relationships, our family, whatever it might be, but a lot of people are also stressed internally, and they're stressed internally because, again, they have gas, they have bloating, they have cramping, they have other wellness-based issues that are affecting their stress levels too. Well, what happens with this higher level of stress is that it actually constricts the intestines, it constricts the bowels. And when that happens, this peristaltic wave that's supposed to happen in the intestines, this intercession that moves the food along that 20 plus feet of intestine, it's slow, or it is basically stopped. And when that happens, you're not going to be able to move that food along as well, that waste product, and it's not going to be able to be removed from your body as quickly. All of these things are issues because they create then a greater fight or flight response in the body, a greater level of inflammation, and of course, you have a higher immune response. When all these things happen, your body's metabolic rate begins to slow. You begin to hold water, all the things that you don't want when you're trying to lose weight. So this is just a very super important topic to talk about. So now let's get into it. So how do we fix this? Well, fixing it, one last thing is that one of the reasons people are constipated is because they're simply dehydrated. So if they're dehydrated, they're not drinking enough water during the day, or they're drinking too much caffeinated products or different things that would have to consume more water, meaning maybe you're eating a lot of meat in your diet. And if you're eating a lot of meat in your diet, your body needs more water to process that as well. So what I would say is this: make sure that your hydration levels are quite high. So that means if you weigh 160 pounds or so, you want to drink about 80 ounces of water per day. That's about 10 glasses of water per day. Now, the same goes for any weight. So approximately what you want to do is you want to take half your body weight and drink that in ounces of water per day. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you'll drink 100 ounces of water per day. And that's going to be about 12 glasses of water. So this goes for everyone. That's your starting point. Now, remember, there are always contraindications for this, meaning if you have very low blood pressure, then you may not want to drink that much water because it's going to flush a lot of those minerals out of your body. You want to get more fluids then from your smoothies and different things like that that already have all those minerals. But you still need the water. You just might want to get it more from the fruit variety, or at least squeezing some lemon and a little bit of sea salt into that water too. Okay, so that's the hydration issue. Now we want to look at what happens when the digestive system just isn't working as well. Well, one way to get it going is that you can use things like psyllium husk fiber. You can use things like a good natural magnesium, which would help with the stress and the fight or flight based response. You can use a good probiotic to begin to balance the intestinal flora. We use a very special intestinal flora probiotic for this that contains Saccharomyces boulardii, which is a beneficial yeast that helps push out larger amounts of yeast as well. So that's a great trifecta of supplements right there. Remember, no one supplement typically is the solution. Those three will help get things going as you're improving your food, as you're doing an elimination diet. All of those things, you can just go to stevencabral.com/store. You can see the constipation package that we offer. You can also see the colon cleanse that we recommend. Now, I'm not a big fan of laxatives. The reason is that your body can actually become used to using laxatives. And what happens is it relies on that. And then its own bowel motility, its own movement of food through the intestines becomes weakened because it's reliant on those laxatives. However, doing a colon cleanse once or twice a year, no problem at all. And I think that's actually a very healthy thing for most people to use something like the activated charcoal, the bentonite clay to pull all that stuff off the intestines. It's a very, very healthy thing. And people have been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. So you can at least online see the products that I recommend, the ones that I believe in, the ones that I use in my practice, and the ones that are third-party tested, so you know that they don't have any heavy metals or molds or things like that in them. The other thing you want to look at is this. If you really want to get to a deeper level of why you may have constipation, you might want to look into functional medicine testing to figure out, is it stress or is it something that's going on inside the actual intestines themselves? Meaning, like, if it's stress, you can do an adrenal hormone stress test. And that will tell you if you have elevated levels of cortisol. And if you have elevated levels of cortisol, well, that stress could be causing that constipation. Now, also, one thing to look at too is you could do a hair tissue mineral analysis to look for low magnesium, other metabolites like that, any type of minerals and heavy metals. The third test that you could think about running is an organic acids test, and the organic acids test is a urine-based test, and all you're doing is you're looking for actual high levels of fungus and yeast. You're looking for Clostridium difficile, which is a bacteria that can live in that gut. And so by looking at that, by looking at different vitamin levels, you'll be able to assess, is there something wrong with the bacteria in your intestines that's causing some type of constipation as well. So you could run all three tests, of course, but you can also just decide, let me just start with good nutrition. Let me start with some of these good nutritional products, and then nutritional supplement products, and then after that I could run the functional medicine test. Or you could say, hey, I want to get to the bottom of this right now. I'm going to go with the test first. I'm going to see what the tests say, and then I'll get my nutritional supplements based on what the tests say. So you can really do it either way. I just want to present you with the information, not inflammation, of how you can actually get the results that you do want, and exactly how I do it in my own practice. And since we are very successful in our practice working with people, I just want you to have that same exact success. And so when we're looking at constipation, yes, we're talking about it absolutely can help you or cause you to gain weight, but also make it really difficult to lose weight because of all the water retention and bloating, and poor absorption of food in general. So you're not absorbing as many nutrients as you should because you're not properly breaking down your food. So that's a big thing. But of course, I always take it back to wellness. And if you're not losing weight and if you're inflamed and there's bloating and there's gases, all these different types of things, then you're most likely not that well either. And this can lead to mood-based disorders, it can lead to headaches, it can lead to autoimmune-based issues, and I don't want you to end up there. So what I want you to do is try to take care of this right now, and what I'd say is start with that functional medicine test, or just go right into those supplements. You can begin with a colon cleanse, and then you could actually just move into those nutritional supplements as well. So you do what's right for you. Please let me know if there's any follow-up questions to this topic, and I'd be happy to answer those. Have a great day.
Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.